You play to win the game.
Spoken like a champ.
Arizona State going duck hunting.
Quack, quack.
It's Sun Devil Stadium in Tempe, Arizona, and James Herbert, not so good. Touchdown run makes it 7-0. Arizona State's next possession.
Look at this pass. Woo-hoo,
Jaden Daniels threw for 408 yards.
You know he's a freshman, by the way.
That's a definition to me of just slinging it. That's what he does. He slings it. Herbert.
He had a bad ball game.
Intercepted.
Did not look like a first-round quarterback tonight.
Jack Jones.
Daniels, look at this catch again.
To Darby again. Frank Darby 125 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, I think Frank Darby had 4 targets for 4 catches, if I'm not mistaken.
Oregon's next possession. Herbert, while you're up, fill her up again.
Boy.
Kalen Kearse-Thomas.
You talk about doing all the wrong things the right way. Herbert did that tonight.
So Arizona State would score on a field goal after the turnover, go up by 17. Herbert, 262, 19 of 34, 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. Touchdown run makes it a 24-14 game.
They fought back.
Did they ever? Herbert finds Johnny Johnson. Comeback is on. Sun Devil fans, just trying to hold on. If you breathe, it doesn't make a difference.
And Daniels, we trust.
Ayuk!
Get out of there. Look at the speed.
Brandon Ayuk, 81 yards.
Have yourself a day.
Oregon not laying down. Ducks still quacking. 17 yards. Johnson the third again. Next Arizona State possession. Buck 23 on 2nd and 8. Let's take a knee from here on out. That's what Arizona State did.
Best formation in football. Man, that's a great formation.
Victory formation in Arizona State knocks off number 6 Oregon.
Bracket buster.
Herm Edwards.
See you, Herm.
This season, 3-1 against teams who were ranked when they played them. Now 5-4 against ranked opponents under Herm Edwards. So 3 of their 6 wins have come against teams at the time
They show up.
that were ranked.
And the lights are its brightest.
13.5-point underdogs for Arizona State. The over came in, set at 54.5. Jaden Daniels, 22 for 32.
Have yourself a day.
408. Look at that.
Bracket buster.
For sure. So now, we don't even need to talk to, I mean, we will, but we don't even need to talk to Jerry Palm about what this means for the Pac-12 because now another loss, and this loss to Arizona State. Now that
you still got Utah.
But that hurts Utah because then the win in the Pac-12 championship game isn't as significant.
No question. A huge, huge missed opportunity for the Pac-12 today. Tip your hat to Herm Edwards and his staff. Huge win, prime time stage. Daniels, I mean, Jaden Daniels, he's a baller. They're going to be pretty comfortable at the quarterback position going forward. The kids are starting to buy into the system there on both sides of the football field for Arizona State. And then you transition to Oregon. I mean, this is a team that's, you can't really get a good grade on who they are. The DNA, the personality, they have talent, but today a slow start on the road, a very, very difficult environment. They never can get out of their own way. And Justin Herbert had a bad game. Yeah, he fought back through some nice plays, 304 yards, 2 touchdowns, but 2 costly interceptions. And for him to be considered one of the best quarterbacks that will be available in 2020's NFL draft, he did not show any of that. The skill set, the measurables, he has all of that. He's just so inconsistent. He doesn't play clean football. snap in, snap out. And that has been the issue for him, the Achilles heel for his production. And because of that, this team will miss an opportunity to get into the playoffs.
Right, so that is the question for Herbert about moving forward. The senior came back and so much hype going into the season, projected before the season to be the #1 overall pick or maybe #2 right behind Tua. Now, so the top 2 quarterbacks coming into the season now have monster question marks.
Yeah.
How would you evaluate Herbert, not just what he didn't do in a big game, but Herbert technically?
Well, outside of what we know, which is his film, visually seeing what he's been able to do, the good plays and the bad plays, I just need to figure out what is the issue. Sometimes quarterbacks that have everything that you would want your quarterback to have, the measurables, the athleticism, the mobility, the arm strength. And then when you look at the tape, you don't necessarily see that week in and week out. What is going on that's preventing you from being consistent? Maybe it's a mental thing. Maybe he has some issues with his above-the-shoulder game. Maybe it's a confidence thing. And I think the best way to dissect and get to the bottom of these issues is to talk to him in a personal way. Because they're going into tonight's ball game, Noah, if you told me the quarterback matchup, if you asked me the quarterback matchup, who are you taking? I love the freshman. I think he has a bright future, but now is not his time.
Sure, big game, must-win game
against
senior.
Justin Herbert, right? So if you asked me that question, the quarterback matchup, who you taking, I would have said Justin Herbert with ease, and I'm pretty sure you guys would have said the same thing. But then tonight you look at a freshman who outplayed Herbert, over 400 yards, 3 touchdowns, was smart with the football. That's the issue. So to answer your question, how will you evaluate him based on outside of what you know? You have to sit down and talk to him and figure him out, because one thing you know, and we see week in and week out with the NFL, if you have a weak-minded quarterback, they will struggle. And I'm not saying Herbert has that issue, but what is preventing him from being as consistent, as successful as some of the other elite quarterbacks in college football?
Right, so that's Justin Herbert. How about on the other side with Herm Edwards? What he has done with this program in these 2 years.
Big-time signature win. This was a total complete team effort. For the Sun Devils, I talked about Daniels. What about the ground game? You know, Benjamin, 30-plus carries, over 130 yards. I mean, doing some of the dirty work that was needed in this ball game, and then getting big-time stops on the defensive side. So I love what they have going forward, because the thing that I'm starting to see with Herm Edwards, he's starting to incorporate that NFL pro-like coaching. He has that spread attack, also being able to slow it down, get under center, run some zone reads, zone play actions, things that you don't normally see on the college level. So being able to incorporate pro and spread has been huge for their success. They just got to learn to build from a game like this. Because this team, when you look at the Pac-12, as far as predicting what we think will happen in the future, they got a young quarterback. They got a coach that everybody loves. They are in a prime location to be able to recruit the ins and outs of Arizona, Cali right there. You know what I mean? So where they're located at, that could be a nice hotbed to getting nice recruits, 4 and 5 stars. So just a matter of time. But let's see exactly what they have in store, you know, going forward. But this was a huge signature win.
Monster win. And they, time of possession, 36 minutes and 25 seconds.
Remember, I talked about that pro and spread style. Being able to mix both is, you can tell, is very, very effective.
All right, so down go the Ducks, and that shakes up the college football playoff picture for sure.